Hello once again to Gaffing the Truth. My name is Jeff with the G. With my good friend right here, Scabs the Clown. How's it going, Scabs?
It's going, man. How you doing?
Doing well. So yeah, we spend every week where we talk about weird shit, and this week we're talking about some of the weird, the weird, the I think the granddaddy of cryptid weird shit. But that's so it's pretty cool. So how's your week? Well, the week just how's everything been going? It's been a minute since I saw you. Like literally a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah. What? Yeah, we hung out online Friday and Saturday.
That's
Talking
right.
to the
Yeah.
monsters was a lot of fun. Yeah, I haven't really done much else. Just kind of started playing video games today for no reason. I don't play video games very often, but I guess it kind of coincides with what we're talking about.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, there is a thing about that in that game, so that makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played it, but yeah. Um, yeah, here it's been pretty low key. I wasn't feeling well yesterday, so I called. I had today off, and yesterday I wasn't feeling well, and so I called out. So I've had the last couple of days off where I basically just rested. I got nice fun congestion, but it's nothing. Just a good old fashioned cold that I broke through. Because I'm not around people to get the vid, but I mean, I never can be too careful about getting sick in general, especially right now. So
Yeah, and like, there's been so many times where I wake up and like I'll cough and I'm like, I've got it, and then I'm like, oh no, wait, I'm a smoker.
well, I'm not a smoker, but I have weird it's like it's just I don't know if it's allergies or whatever. So I always have issues. Sometimes I have issues. So sometimes when I get up, I can't breathe very well. But I also don't know. So I spend like the first hour when I wake up, like, oh, do I have a cold? Is it allergies or is it COVID? And then usually within an hour, I've cleared up and everything's cool and groovy. Except for yesterday, where things did not clear up, and I'm up much early enough where I can call out if necessary. I don't try to shortchange it, but it's one of those. I wasn't clearing up, so I said I'm staying home and got a bunch of shit delivered so that way I can kind of kill it. Because
Yeah, kill it is what you must do.
well, it's also the fact is that where because if I can't breathe through my nose, then I really can't breathe through a mask. So
Yeah,
and working,
almost impossible to breathe out of anyway, right? Internet. Hey.
yay. No, I rock bandanas, man. So I look like somebody's about to do a hold up for everybody because I have the worst gag reflex. So if I can't have anything go through my mouth, it can trigger my gag reflex. I push my tongue back too far, I'll trigger my gag reflex. It's horrible. The COVID test, sticking shit up your nose, gag reflex. So the other reason why I'm making sure that I'm keeping my shit as safe as possible because even if I did do the COVID test way early on, and yeah, I warned the doctors early on because I'm still trying to teach myself blockhead that's just slow going because I got to kill that gag reflex. But it's like I warned the doctors, I just have something ready just in case. I fasted before coming to this thing. Go, well, it's not necessary. I go, it is for me because if I have shit in my system, it's going to come out. So
Yeah, that's how it goes. I didn't really have the bad gag reflex. Some of the stunts I do, like when I do um, the ice pick and put that up my nose, and then I tilt my head back and balance something on it. That literally pushes it all the way down. Sometimes that will trigger my gag reflex.
well, yeah,
So
just well, like one of the stunts I do is I actually I've been working on it, and I'm part of the reason I'm trying to kill my gag reflex and to do so because I have a really cool stunt I'm trying to do, which involves like a three pronged fish hook that has three strings ringing off of it.
mm-hmm.
Um, what is it like? Two of them will slide right out, and one will stay attached. And so the goal is for me to put that in my mouth and have people yank strings, the two that aren't attached to my mouth, so attached to the hook, so I don't hurt anything. But the problem is that hook is big and it pushes against my tongue, which pushes against my back of my throat, which hits the gag reflex. I'm working on it.
Fun.
It is. Yeah, I started learning this trick back at the beginning of COVID because I figured that let me learn like up close magic shit because that'll be able to do that soon, right?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, of course.
It's- uh, so, anyways, so today we're gonna have fun. We're gonna talk about we want to talk about Bigfoot because we haven't talked like we have like literally we've been doing this show like 7 months ish or 7 6 7 months.
Yeah, something
Uh,
like that.
yeah, and the one we made a point to not talk about for the longest time was Bigfoot. I'm not sure. I think it's like a weird sort of thing. I think in a lot of ways we thought it was too big, pun intended. Because, but I also think I don't know. It was fun talking about the stuff that wasn't Bigfoot. I think that's probably when. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Bigfoot. Everybody knows about Bigfoot. Let's talk about furry trout. Let's talk about fucking just
Mm,
weird shit. And so, literally when we called the show the cryptozoology before we changed it to gaffing the truth, Bigfoot was one of the things we even way back then we were just going to talk about cryptids. We realized that Bigfoot was going to be one of the ones we were going to hold off on because there's just almost too much information, or everybody's an expert because there's like
yeah,
18,000 TV shows on. So
we got TV shows, toys, stickers, pop culture references, like
yeah,
ads, everything. Yeah, I mean, like shit. We were just talking about it before we went live. Harry and the Hendersons. Like I really like don't remember a lot from that show. I was pretty young, but like I remember liking it a lot.
my niece, who actually is only a couple years younger than me, her favorite movie as a kid growing up was Harry and the Hendersons. So
Hmm.
I've seen it a few times, and it's John Lithgow, man. The dude's amazing as an like the actor playing the dad. The guy
And
playing Harry.
there was the TV show as well.
There was, right, there was. It lasted not long at all.
No,
Um,
no.
well, what's weird is the guy who was in the Harry suit. There's also the guy that was in the Predator suit.
Interesting, man. I want that to be
And
my title, like professional costume wearer.
well, it's Doug Jones, man, the guy who does today who like did Abe from Hellboy and like 18th. He was like the basically if Guillermo del Toro does a movie that has a weird monster in it, it's fucking
Hmm.
Doug Jones. He was the creature in like Shape of Water. He played
Hmm.
like two or three roles in Pan's Labyrinth. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, that's who it is today. Doug Bradley kind of was for a moment, but they only really dressed up as Pinhead or Hell Priest, as Clive Barker prefers to be call it. Um,
Yeah, in the story, The Hellbound Heart.
yeah. So so yeah. But anyways, as we detract. But no, Harry and the Hendersons, like the dad, John Lithgow, a really great guy. That's a good movie. If those people haven't watched it, watch it. It's a fun kind of family film. It's
Yeah.
released
It
in
follows the same basic family trope style as any of your other favorites, with some kind of monster alien thing in it. So E.T., The Goonies. It's basically one of those movies.
well, kinda, but it also it even goes. It actually even predates that. I think it's closer to things like Old Yeller and things like that. Weird, people find that people find a pet that they can't keep trope is really where it comes down to. Yeah, so just think, yeah, Bigfoot could be a pet.
Really big pet. Speaking of big pet, I was reading this. This is off the National Geographic website. I had to enter an email to be able to continue reading this story. Um, so I didn't put in my email. Uh,
Of course not.
so somebody else is going to be getting shit from National Geographic now. I don't know.
You're
But
welcome, Cody, for not coming on.
yeah, right. Um, Bigfoot advocates hypothesize that the primate is the offspring of an ape from Asia that wandered to North America during the Ice Age. They believe there are at least 2,000 ape men walking upright in North America's woods today. An adult male is said to be at least 8 feet, 2.4 meters tall, weighing 800 pounds, 360 kilograms, and have feet twice the size of a human's. The creatures are described as shy and nocturnal, and their diets consist mostly of berries and fruits. But this story from this gentleman here, his name's Matt Moneymaker. It's got to be a real name.
That's
Matt Moneymaker, yeah. Moneymaker had been searching for Bigfoot for years in the woods of eastern Ohio. He claims he finally came eye to eye with the elusive primate. It was 2 o'clock in the morning and the moon was quarter full, recalled Moneymaker. Suddenly, there was an 8-foot tall creature standing 15 feet away, growling at me. He wanted to let me know I was in the wrong place. Moneymaker, who lives in Dana Point in South California, is a lawyer who runs his own marketing agency. In his spare time, he leads the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, a network of more than 3,000 people who claim to have seen the Sasquatch.
So Moneymaker has a money-making schemes. Interesting.
Yeah, he's a lawyer, a Bigfoot hunter.
It reminds me of those days back when like England and back in the ancient times where people's last names are based on their profession. So you're a baker. Your last name's Baker. You're a baker.
Yeah.
Last name's shoemaker is shoemaker. Last name's pervert.
Mm-hmm.
And then moneymaker. I guess that makes sense. That tracks. I mean,
my last name means son of America.
Mine is son of Peter. But also, I'm Norse. I'm most of my family's Norse and Swedish and all that sort of stuff, so it makes sense. Because
you know what Cody means?
Not on the show.
Means cushion or pillow.
That says so much. so much. By the way, with the Harry and Henderson, going back to the dude that played Harry, dude was 7'2", like in natural life, and they put him in shit to put him at 8 feet tall. And John Lithgow, by the way, is 6'4". He's 2 inches taller than us.
Yeah,
and it's just like as you hit it, like it's like in Hollywood. You think of Hollywood sizes, like most, the Hollywood average height is around 5'8". Just
it's 5'6" to 5'8". Like, what is it? Mission Impossible. Fuck, what's his name?
Tom Cruise is 5'4".
Tom Cruise. Yeah, he's 5'4". He's tiny.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
I know, because they had a life-size Madame wax figure at the Madame Tussauds, and I stood next to him, and it really was the same height. Brad Pitt's like 5'11", I think, or something like that. So it's one of those weird sort of things. That's but yeah, it's like one of those weird kind of things. Like the guy, dude, his name was what was his name? I love having.
So was that dude also the
Kevin
same
Peter
guy
Hall.
in the Patterson Gimlin film?
It could be. I don't know. It's possible. I don't know. Age-wise, probably not. It's just because of age. Yeah, in fact, it's like, I think was it the deathbed confession to like his nephew or something like that. It said Patterson was the guy in the suit, or was it the other guy?
I don't remember, but yeah, they admitted it was fake the whole time, and like people were like, "What do they know? Shut up, guys." Anyway, Bigfoot's real, and this is like the emergence of like the Bigfoot mania. I mean, Bigfoot, like, not necessarily always called Bigfoot, but this is what started started Bigfoot.
Well, I mean, it's not a new tale to tell of 8 men living in the woods.
There's Sasquatch, there's skunk ape, there's all kinds of different ones.
Yeah, but
I actually couldn't find anything on like the different species of Bigfoot. I'm sure if I scroll through this fucking Wikipedia, there'll be something in there.
That's what I would say about 1/3 of all sightings are in the Pacific Northwest, but the rest are all throughout North America, including Oklahoma, where once the session goes through, you might get a license to hunt Bigfoot. True.
I actually pulled something about that up.
Yeah, I talked about that a few weeks ago, like on the Devil's Hour, because I went, "Why are people trying to push this shit right now?"
Yeah, Oklahoma lawmaker proposes Bigfoot hunting season. A mythical blah blah blah. Let's see. A Republican House member has introduced a bill that would create a Bigfoot hunting season. Representative Justin Humphrey's district includes the heavily forested Ouachita Mountains mountains in southeast Oklahoma, where a Bigfoot festival is held each year near the Arkansas border. He says issuing a state hunting license and tag could help boost tourism. Establishing an actual hunting season and issuing a license for people who want to hunt Bigfoot will just draw more people to our already beautiful part of the state, Humphrey said in a statement. So he's not looking at it as, what it's like, as, kill the Bigfoot.
No,
Humphrey
but
says
so
his bill would only allow trapping, and that he also hopes to secure $25,000 to be offered as a bounty.
so let's put a hunting season for a human-like creature
Mm-hmm.
that's rough, maybe larger, but they're humans that are of large girth, or in the woods at night or in the early morning. It's hard to tell size. Let's do that. That sounds like a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nothing horribly wrong is going to happen at all.
Yeah, people in camo and ghillie suits running around, and
Yeah, those ghillie
because
suits, they look kind of hairy, don't they?
mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to wear one for a haunted house I worked at. So, yeah.
Yeah, we got them at work, so yeah, it's one of those. I'm just going. Yeah, that's a good plan. Such a good plan. Yeah, it looks like things like skunk ape and stuff like that. Those are mostly the regional names, wherever that Bigfoot sighting is. So skunk ape's only the regional name of Bigfoot or whatever, or Sasquatch. Versus like I think Bigfoot, Sasquatch is. I think Sasquatch is the actual name versus Bigfoot, which is the American name. American.
And I've also heard the um, Bigfoot or Big Feet is not plural for Bigfoot. It's kind of like a rude thing to say because it's actually Bigfoots when talking about multiples.
Is it Bigfoot, or I thought it was just Bigfoot? Like it's like goose, or no, go down a geese. It's like moose. Like you don't say like it's a lot of moose. You don't say mooses or meeses. You just say
It's a weird
moose.
it's a weird argument.
So I assumed it was just Bigfoot could be singular or plural.
Well, you know how it is with these like researchers and people. They always want to like change it up so they sound smarter. Like Aleister Crowley. So I found this document. I had to scroll through a bunch of shit to actually find anything good to like use it for, because it's all like I'll read it until it starts getting to like the real legal stuff. But it's called Bigfoot. So the object of Bigfoot is provide ground validation of mod labs or mod land discipline group, land cover, leaf area index, and net primary production. The name Bigfoot was selected to describe the multiple scales or footprints, the ground validation that the project will undertake. The current Bigfoot study plan covers measurement, mapping, and modeling activities at 4 sites, each equipped with a meteorological flux tower that makes continuous measurements of energy, water, and carbon fluxes for a roughly 1 kilometer footprint. Ground validation measurements will be conducted both within the 1 kilometer eddy flux tower footprint and in an outlying area covering 25 kilometers. It's
What?
legal. It's legal shit. Basically, they're just mapping out lands where Bigfoot could possibly live.
Ah, okay. Because I was going. Does a Bigfoot like buying property? I'm trying to figure out what he's like a mogul, like a real estate mogul.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Now,
Mm.
that is weird. I don't know what to
That's
think
why it
about
also
that.
said like it was like, um, what was it? The some of the information in this document may be illegal. It's like, I don't know. Uh,
So the just so you guys, the National Guard of Washington has a whole thing on their website about the legend of Bigfoot.
yeah.
At least that's
Hmm.
and like things like Bigfoot is known by many titles with many different cultures. Although the name Bigfoot is generally attributed to the mountainous western region of North America. The common name Sasquatch comes from the Salish Sasquatch, while the Algonquin of the north central region of the continent referred to as a Wetigo or Wendigo. Other nations tell of a large creature, much like a man, but imbued with special powers and characteristics. The Ojibwe of the northern plains believe the Rougarou appeared in times of dangers, and other nations agreed that the hairy apparition was a messenger of warning, telling man to change his ways. North American settlers have started seeing sightings as late as the 1800s into the 1900s, finding like weird shit like footprints and of course the infamous grainy footage, because really that's Bigfoot's big job is making sure that you get shitty pictures. They work at photomats. That's what you don't know is
Mm-hmm.
Bigfoot actually works at photomats.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, he's the one who fucks him up.
yeah, but what's really cool is that the Washington Air National Guard, their mascot is the Bigfoot. So I think that's kind of neat. So, but like
That is really cool.
the air guard, like in the air, has I guess big jumping Bigfoot coming after you. I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. But like the fact is, they talk about the fact is all like a lot of the different nations of Native Americans all have a very similar being that they've had for a long time. So I think that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found a list of a few of them. Um, the Sasquatch, which one we were just talking about it, North American style variety. Um, the Wendigo, you brought that one up too, but I've also read that a lot of Native Americans find that very disrespectful to call the Wendigo a Bigfoot, because the Wendigo is something different. It's their, you know, it's their one of their strong beliefs, so they don't want it like kind of tarnished that way.
That's fair. I mean, it's
Because a lot of people who like a lot of the Native people who like still stick to the like their old ways and everything, like they don't even talk about the Wendigo.
no, the
It's the other,
Wendigos.
it's the ones
That
who have left, the ones who like just kind of want to talk about stuff.
Wendigo
Um,
might be a good one to talk about at some point because there's a whole
yeah.
big thing. There's a lot of shit about the Wendigo.
Oh yeah, Wendigos are wild. Their skunk apes are almost exactly the same as Sasquatch, with a couple of exceptions. First, they live in the bogs and swamps of Florida rather than forests and mountains. Second, they stink. The stench has been associated with methane-filled bogs, but some say it comes straight from the beasts themselves. The Grassman is another name for Sasquatch, but more specific. Grassmen reside only in Ohio and some neighboring states. They feed mostly on livestock, but also hunt in the Appalachians and eat plants from the forests. Um, the Bumble. No, I'm kidding. It's not the Bumble. It's the Yeti or the Abominable Snowman. But the
The
Bumble.
abominable.
Bumbles bounce. Himalayas, Nepal, Tibet. Yeti are the original variety of Bigfoot, and the others diffused and evolved from them. They are characterized by white or yellowish white fur and a stockier build than Sasquatches. They are often confused with the Arctic variety of Sasquatch, which has a similar color but is found in the far north of America. Man, how can we miss that one when we were talking about it? There's a different snow Sasquatch.
I wasn't aware of that. I assumed that anything. I always just I was I figured Yeti and Sasquatch abominable. I think abominable snowman is just a layman's term for Yeti. Uh, but I
We're gonna have
figured
to do snow monsters all over again.
fuck. All right, cool. Get in the time machine. Let's go back.
Bring
Go,
Cody.
yeah, Cody. No, yeah, no, it's that's really interesting. The fact is, but it's I kind of mentioned the fact is like every region has their either their own name or their own
Mm-hmm.
version of Bigfoot or Sasquatch or whatever you want to call
Yeah, I found some other ones. They're the Yeren. Never heard of the Yeren. Um, Mysterious ape-like creature rumored to inhabit rural South China. They're even more closely related to the American Sasquatch than their neighbors, the Yeti. They're known to be malevolent to humans and even to eat them. And there are legends that Chinese travelers in the mountains wore tubes on their arms so they can slide out of them and escape when the Yeren captures them. It is more likely that these tubes were intended to prevent frostbite. Here's one that I can butcher the name horribly. The Mapinguari,
it. Of course,
aka Maricoxy.
of course.
Yeah, is another possible Bigfoot relative living deep in South American rainforests. Some say it's humanoid, while others describe a partially bipedal bear-like creature with sloth claws. whether it is a Bigfoot relative or a remnant of an ancient species of megafauna thought to be extinct is heavily debated. The scientifically accepted explanation is that it might be a giant ground sloth, which was previously believed to be extinct. And finally, I think this is the last one, on this list at least, the Yowie. That's the Australian Bigfoot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, been reported to exist in the bush well before Australia was discovered. The Aboriginals described ape-like beasts found in the forest near the coast that had lived there for as long as they had. Yowies are thought to be considerably more violent towards humans than Sasquatches, although they have not been reported to have eaten anyone yet. But it is Australia, so it doesn't surprise me they're more violent towards humans, and they will eat somebody eventually.
And they're probably poisonous.
Yeah, probably, and venomous at the same time.
Yeah, they're because it's just natural, because that's just Australia. And there's a lot of Australian people don't still like weirdly like of all the continents. Australia is still the one that's There's been more of Antarctica explored than fucking Australia. I mean, there's been flyovers, but like actual like boots on ground outside of natives. I'm sure the natives traverse, like the Aborigines traverse Australia all the time, but like Western people for the most part don't. You want to go from one side of Australia, you go to the other. You can't take a plane. You drive around it.
Yeah.
You don't drive through. You drive around. So it's crazy. There's also the thing like thinking of like other types of Bigfoot that you didn't mention, the Dewey Lake Monster, which is out of Michigan, which is also very similar. Because it's near the Dewey Lake, it's also a 9-foot tall hairy creature with glowing eyes out of Michigan. So,
right, Michigan, straight from Detroit.
That's right. Its call is Bawitaba, so it makes sense. I mean, it has very Republican leanings. What I'm saying is that Kid Rock is actually a midget Sasquatch.
Kid Rock is actually a Nugent Sasquatch.
Yeah. You heard it here first. Breaking news.
I knew it. We're just breaking it all to the people here. We've got Elvis shot Kennedy, and
Kid Rock is a midget Bigfoot.
Yep, man. He just shaves himself.
Or he doesn't. I don't know. It's hard to say, but yeah, you didn't know that. Like Bigfoot is actually mildly Republican.
Mildly? I think he's really Republican.
Oh no, then at least mildly racist.
No, he just lives in a trailer park.
Yeah, but so does Eminem. But Eminem's cool, so
yeah,
it's just and from the same fucking area. So
there were black people in his band, the Twisted Brown Trucker Band. That was the name of it. Was Kid Rock and the Twisted Brown Trucker Band.
That is okay. So okay, he had a really badass drummer. She was a black woman. I give you that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
he just wasn't racist around her. Yeah,
that's fair. I mean, his DJ was Uncle Cracker.
And the best part of the band was actually Joe C.
Yeah, I mean, who was an actual
just a rapping midget. He did his own song for the what was it?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, he was in the South Park movie. He did his own song in that, and it was Kyle's mama is a big fat bitch.
Kyle's mama bitch is a big fat bitch is the biggest bitch in the whole wild world.
No, it's his was different. He just rapped the whole thing.
That wasn't a movie though.
It was like Kyle's mama is a big fat bitch. She's a stupid ass bitch, and I hate that trick.
Yeah.
He still mentioned that he was 3'9" with a 10-foot dick. I think he puts that in all of his songs, or all of his cameos.
I think it was contractually obligated to. So that's fair. That was one of the episodes. That wasn't the movie. That was an episode of it.
No, it was on the movie soundtrack.
Oh, maybe the soundtrack, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it was on the movie soundtrack because they had some bands that came in and did covers of
the songs?
some of the other songs because they had this oh god, I forgot the rap group's name, but they did a song. They did Uncle Fucker, and it was like, Uncle Fucker, what'd you say, motherfucker? Shut your fucking face. It was really cool.
I'm gonna look this up. Give me a second. Talk amongst
While you're
yourselves.
looking that up, yeah, here. While you're looking that up, I found these weird conspiracy theories and facts. So they mixed them together, so you don't know which ones are true or not. Texas veterinarian Melba S. Ketchum claimed last November to have proved via Sasquatch DNA sample that the legendary apes are partially human. She even went so far as to insist that the government recognize them as an indigenous people and immediately protect their human and constitutional rights.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. They're part human. It's all good. The government secretly removed burnt Sasquatch corpses from Mount St. Helens after the 1980 eruption.
Of course.
Yeah, following the disaster, a few witnesses reported seeing federal helicopters carrying off the charred remains of several Sasquatches from the area. Prior to the eruption, Mount St. Helens had already been a hotspot for supposed ape-men sightings since the 1920s. In fact, so many of these stories were recorded that a nearby gorge was eventually named Ape Canyon.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was Bigfoot definitely caused Mount St. Helens. They stepped on the wrong spot, and like that's what caused like the slide. It was like,
Well,
because
I think because
if you've never seen the footage, anybody watching, you've never seen the footage of Mount St. Helens exploding, like it seems really weird that like this guy was like, I'm gonna set my camera up on this tripod just out of the blast range in a very safe area, looking straight at the mountain, and you just see like part of the mountain like kind of just shear itself off, and then it explodes, and it's a really wild video.
yeah, I remember seeing. Hey, Gizmo Clown, thank you so much for following us. Cool.
What's up,
I
buddy?
appreciate that. Hey. So, sorry, I'm trying to track down this fucking thing and I can't find anything about it.
What, the Twisted Brown Trucker Band?
Oh, there it is. Yeah, here, I found it now. Yeah. Okay, I found it. No, I know them. I'm trying to find the. Yeah, it's. Dude, yeah, like, yeah, Trick Daddy and Trina do Shut Your Face, Uncle Fucker.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, just. Sorry, and then, I'm sorry, I get distracted by all that. Anyway.
Yeah, there's some funny songs on there. The
I
Brian
know.
Boitano one's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's like I remember I forgot completely about. I remember listening. I've seen the movie. I saw the movie in the theater when I was in college.
So did I.
Uh,
Man, we're old.
so yeah, I know. I watched it several times, and like
Oh.
I like for a while I knew the songs were somewhere up there, the Satan song, because I thought it was funny as shit to sing it to people.
Yeah.
Somewhere where the flowers bloom. just just because
Like that's
I don't.
Satan singing.
I know that's what killed me about it. I thought it was just like, don't get. I love like Uncle Fucker and Blame Canada and Kyle's Mom's a Bitch and Boitano. All that. I love actually all the music awesome on that thing, but something about Satan's song just it was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then like it just and plus it really fucks with my friends to sing it around them because they're just like really disturbed by that. So I go yes.
And
Anyway,
yeah, but see, speaking of us being old, Bigfoot is really a caveman.
that's why yeah,
In,
it's like
in 2007, Vancouver Island resident Robert Wilson claimed to have seen what I thought was a bear. I drove down and saw what I could only describe as a large, hairy man who
dude,
even looked caveman-like.
No, Vancouver, Canada. They don't speak that way.
Oh no, trust me. I like Robert Wilson. Totally, he does.
Okay. Okay.
Expanding on a claim, a 2011 History Channel documentary proposed that the Sasquatch might not be a giant ape at all, but could be a species of prehistoric human, You can see the segment in question in the video. If no, I'm not gonna watch that video. Fuck you.
I'm not gonna watch your ridiculousness.
Well,
Watch ridiculousness.
Yeah, watch ridiculousness. You might catch Broken on there sometime.
That's true. I probably know several people who've been on that show.
I've seen some videos where I'm like, I think I know that guy, or I know that I know that guy.
It's just I mean, the videos are cool. Just the host and the people he has on the show aren't very funny. I mean, just like it's like a poor man's Tosh.0, which is a poor man's like the soup.
Sorry, I found some good shit.
Okay.
I found some really good shit, but we got about 20 minutes left. I'll wait till the end to kind of get into those because those are fucking great.
Well, Bigfoot did inspire a lot of things outside of being just a weird, smelly ape man, caveman,
Mhm.
person, thing, cryptid, uncle fucker. I don't know.
Misunderstood.
Misunderstood. Photomat employee. Um, don't forget, one of the most famous monster trucks of all time that isn't Gravedigger was Bigfoot, which has now been since retired. But yeah, Bigfoot had been around since like the 70s
Mm-hmm.
doing stuff. And there actually was multiple trucks of Bigfoot. And whenever like there's two trucks on there, they have they change the body up because it's just fiberglass. And you see a thing called snake bite, that's also Bigfoot. It just can't be Bigfoot there because there's already a Bigfoot there.
Yeah, man, it's all a
But
lie.
yeah,
It's never the same driver. It's just the same vehicle.
yeah. Well, it's been around since '75. Yeah, they have I don't know, like there's like 3 dozen drivers on here. But also, what's crazy, the fact is that Bigfoot also had a morning cartoon show back in the early '80s. I watched a few episodes, and it had like fictional drivers for like Bigfoot and like the Orange Blossom Specials, which was another type of monster truck that looked like an old like '40s truck. And then I think Gravedigger was on there. And I don't know, it does anymore. I don't remember it. I just remember watching it briefly, and I go, "Huh, well, now it's time to watch Gummy Bears." So I'm like,
Yeah, that
well, just
sounds
whatever.
vaguely familiar. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know anything about it, but it sounds vaguely familiar. Are you sure
I
you're
like
not thinking about the ghost from or the ape from Ghostbusters?
the real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. I'm sorry. Actually, what's weird? 1985 mini series. It was a mini series. Yeah, called Bigfoot and the Muscle Machines. I just came across it. Basically, it was like they had a Super Sunday anthology series where basically they had some episodes on it along with other shows as well. For other stuff too. So it's like that. So, but yeah, no, yeah, getting off track. So one of my fun things to do.
Here,
I hate
real
both of
quick. I
them.
want to see if we can hear this real fast. Oh no, never mind. That's like a whole fucking thing.
As once again to get off track because we were wanting to do, but be also the fact is to talk about weird dumb shit that come across. So one of
Yeah,
the
no.
things, no, I can't.
No, I mean it's like a segment. I thought it was just gonna like play the sound, but no, it's a segment.
It's
And it's like
awesome.
no, we're not gonna watch this we're not gonna watch this 5 minute clip of the Finding Bigfoot series because the series lied to me. They never found anything.
No, they found a way to kill an hour. That's what they found.
Mm-hmm.
To get slightly off track, Riff Tracks has a channel on Twitch. They run all their shit on, right? So
Who?
you're watching Riff Tracks.
Riff Tracks.
People who like Mystery Science Theater 3000. When
Oh, okay, yeah.
that ended, it kept going and became Riff Tracks. They start like there's tons of music like they have a channel, and so like it got me thinking. There's a thing called Hillbillies in a Haunted House, and so like the idea of like hillbillies and like ghosts and shit like that from like the original Ghostbusters made me think of that. Sorry. But yeah, they did one of those movies, and it was funny as shit, and so it made me think about it. Anyway, back on topic. So yeah, Bigfoot the truck. Uh, no, it's just I remember just like I've never went to a monster truck rally, but I just remember the commercials going Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
My buddy's birthday when we were growing up, it was in early January, and that's when the monster truck rally would always come. Like Monster Jam would always come to the Astrodome.
Monster Jam.
Yeah, so his kid seats are still just $5. So that's what we did for his birthday because his dad would buy like one $20 ticket and then buy like three or four of us like the not actually $5 ticket. It's more of like a $12 ticket, but still that's what we did for my buddy's birthday every year. So a lot of monster truck rallies. They're cool. I mean, the monster truck part was fun. Like the opening thing was, opening like stunts and stuff was all right. But one of my favorite things, and I actually told him about this one time. So they would do like a demolition derby sometimes. Yeah. Come smashing up cars and everything. Those are always fun to watch. But I Outlaw Dave, local Houston radio personality, used to have a bar. We did shows there all the time. Kiki Maroon used to run the Midnight Circus there, and Dave was always there. So we got close with Dave. We'd hang out with Dave all the time. And I told him one time, I was like, when I was a kid, I went to the Monster Jam, and they announced that you were driving the Budweiser car, and everyone's like, "Whoa, Outlaw Dave, Budweiser car," and then Budweiser car just gets torn the fuck up because he's not a derby driver, so he's out, engine blown, can't do anything. So it's still going on, and there's a couple other cars that are out, but Dave just gets out of his car, just walks through it, walks through the fucking destruction derby. And I told him about that, and he was like, "I only kind of remember that. I was fucking wasted."
Phil Screamer's in the chat. He's Gravedigger for life. Yeah, represent. And the robot that ate the cars was the best. Yes, Truckosaurus. Fucking Truckosaurus is where they're
Truckosaurus, yeah. It's one of my favorite Simpsons episodes.
Oh, but the fact is that there's a real Truckosaurus, which was funny as shit too.
I know there's a real Truckosaurus. And why didn't I think about this before? Never mind. Anyway, that's something for another time. But here, so the one I was trying to show the video of, but I just didn't want to deal with skimming through that. If I would have done it before, that would have been different. But it was Bigfoot calls. Bigfoot calls have been documented and can be easily mimicked. So it was either Bigfoot or some drunk dude in the woods fucking with us.
Yeah.
But the government captured a live Sasquatch in 1999. In 1999, a number of simultaneous fires ravaged Battle Mountain, Nevada. An injured Bigfoot was supposedly spotted in the carnage before being whisked away by government officials for treatment. A brief summary of the alleged event is available at the Sierra Tahoe Bigfoot Research blog.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. Try to find some other fun, weird shit that.
I think this one's kind of common, but I also feel like that, about a lot of this shit. And I'm like, what do you mean you've never heard of the fucking walkers in Anaheim, California, you weirdo? But Sasquatches bury their dead. One of the most jarring questions for cryptozoologists is, if Sasquatches are real, why don't we ever find their bodies? Many believers argue that not unlike modern elephants, the elusive apes actually bury their dead. For a lengthy list of purported sightings of Bigfoot burials in progress, check this out. I don't know if I trust that link.
It's porn. It's Russian
Probably.
Porn. Some hairy dude's burying something.
Yeah, I'm going to look up Bigfoot porn when we're done.
I'll have the mature tags on. We're fine. Apparently, there's also a Bigfoot the artist. We can go into other sort of things that he makes. Basically, he's called Bigfoot the artist, who does Bigfoot artwork. Sierra Nevada Brewing Company makes a barley wine style ale called the Bigfoot Barley Wine Style Ale. It's
So we
one
went
of
out
the
to what is it, Nacogdoches for to go, float the river one year.
yeah.
Well, a couple years, but like, we're driving up. It's all in mountainous area, and I'm just kind of driving, and I look over, and I see, the typical silhouette of Bigfoot right along the edge of the woods, and I'm like, the fuck? And I like kind of slow down and look at it, and I want to say some realtor is using a Bigfoot cutout as an advertisement. So there's random Bigfoot cutouts all over, like in the woods and shit in there.
I'm on board for that because that's good. That makes sense. It's I'm on board for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it caught my eye. If I needed like some realty, I'd go to that realtor.
I would be totally on board for that. What else fun? There's a thing called the Bigfoot 200, which is an endurance run you can go do. That's kind of fun, I guess. I guess you kind of lumber along riverbeds and try not to get taken pictures of. I mean, maybe that's part of it. I don't know. Because that'd be kind of cool. Like your goal is to run this, but can't be seen, and you can only run across this river.
Yeah, I actually participated in a zombie 5K one time. No, zombie
That's
1K, wasn't 5K. But it was at a park, Creepy Hollow. We donated our makeup artists and a lot of our actors for the zombie. It was a zombie fun run essentially. So you could walk it, you could run it, you could do whatever you wanted. But we we had a bunch of our zombies just kind of out in the wooded areas, and when people were walking through, they had like armbands and shit. And if our zombie came out, they couldn't touch you, but if they got your armband, that means you got bit, and you had one more bite before you got out. Nothing happened if you didn't get bit, but if you did get bit, you got shamed. It was a lot of fun. I walked that whole thing in fucking clown shoes, and it was stupid.
Oh, that does sound stupid.
And we tried to take a shortcut that turned into a long cut, so I walked even longer than I was supposed to. It started getting dark, and we hadn't found the path yet. We almost got by zombies.
Got. No, as we
So,
see this. Yeah, we got about.
Oh no, I was going to say a few modern creationists have argued that the giants briefly mentioned in the Book of Genesis were actually early Bigfoot. Duh.
I mean, yeah. Bigfoot is actually a Nephilim. Who knew?
Yep.
The
or a
children
giant
of men
ground
and angels.
sloth. Yeah.
Well, giant ground sloths were real. So
yeah, but while most experts believe the Sasquatch can be some form of shaggy primate, a few have opined that these beasts are actually surviving giant ground sloths. For more on these fascinating prehistoric mammals, go here. No, not clicking on that.
It's more porn.
Yeah, hopefully. All right, I got a couple. We got like 9-10 minutes left. Yeah, you got anything else really good? Because I've got some bangers right here, man.
I think let's go with your bangers.
Okay. Bigfoot is really an alien. And I've heard this in a couple different things, but two conspiracies for the price of one. In 1973, Pennsylvania UFO researcher Stan Gordon noticed an increase in sightings of Sasquatches entering and exiting the extraterrestrial vessels. Fascinated by the possibility that the mysterious primates may actually hail from another planet, Gordon quickly set up a UFO Bigfoot hotline, which still runs to this day. Also, there's another crazy theory that Bigfoot's actually an interdimensional being. Okay, this is where they start to get good. Those porn sites we were talking about. Sasquatches occasionally sodomize domestic cows.
Of course. I mean,
yeah, animal-on-animal bestiality is far from uncommon. Accordingly, more than a few farmers claim to have witnessed male Bigfoot, which is the plural of male big feet, which is the plural of Bigfoot. No, getting intimate with some unfortunate bovines. Where's Gary Larson when you need him?
That's true. That's that thing. But
Like,
obviously, it's suspect when they call them Big Feet, and you know they don't know
yeah,
shit.
I want to know like what the farmer does. He just walks out and he's like, "Yep, Bigfoot's fucking my cow." Like, does he shoot at it? Like, get on out of here, or does he just let it happen?
Oh no, he's a total voyeur, man. He's whacking off in the tool shed while watching that weird beast on beast love, uh,
Yeah, that makes sense.
like an American.
Yeah, he just like goes out there, puts up an American flag, salutes, and then shotgun.
Comes.
But another thing about that, the reason it's sodomizing domestic cows is 10% of Sasquatches might be gay.
Also, you're assuming that it's the male mounting the. You know, we don't know what Bigfoot may have. The Bigfoot may have different sort of sexual organs. Maybe it was the female mounting the male.
Just getting on one of the horns, going after it.
There you go. Just
So, cryptozoologist Lauren Coleman recalls having one lightheartedly wondered aloud if 10% of the Bigfoot population matching the figures we will have on Homo sapiens might be gay, quote unquote. Days later, he was shocked to discover a slew of angry emails denouncing him for calling Bigfoot a homosexual. You can visit Coleman's official website here. So he just kind of like, I wonder if there's gay Bigfoots like there's gay peoples. And then everybody was like, how dare you, sir?
how dare you? How dare you to besmirch the sanctity that is the Bigfoot name? How dare you? There's Jesus, and then there's Bigfoot. In this story, we do not talk about such shit.
Yeah, nothing at all.
And of course,
Jesus.
Kid Rock, because Kid Rock
Kid
is
Rock.
a midget Bigfoot.
Yeah, I think those were the bangers that I had. Yeah, Sasquatches, 10 might be gay. Sasquatches appear in the Bible. Sasquatches occasionally sodomize cows. Giant ground sloth, really an alien, caveman. Yeah, those are all the good ones.
That's I've heard tales. The fact is that they're just like instead like they're a Homo something else, like they're a Homo sapien, Homo neanderthalis, etc., etc. The whole like man ape, as it were, for Bigfoot is another Homo something. And they just hadn't been fully absorbed into the sapien yet, unlike Neanderthal, which did happen because basically the Homo sapiens fucked Neanderthals into the Homo sapiens.
Yeah.
I took my 23andMe. Anyway,
God, I was just reading some of the stuff about this guy. Beckyard
rabbit hole.
Yeah, Beckyard believed that Bigfoot and similar cryptids may be interdimensional beings that can occasionally take physical form for brief periods of time, but that, like the famed Cheshire Cat, can fade out and pass through wormholes, possibly to other dimensions or parallel universes. He reporting having had one of the creatures speak to him using telepathy, communicating the words, "We're here, but we're not real, like what you think is real." Beckyard claimed that such entities may be able to actually disappear into thin air or even shapeshift.
Where is this guy from?
I don't know, but his last name is Beckjord. So I don't know. Norway?
Beckyard?
Beckyard.
Which means he's
San Francisco-based paranormal investigator and photographer known for his far-reaching ideas regarding such phenomena as UFOs, crop circles, and the Loch Ness Monster, and his specialty, Bigfoot. Bigfoot is an extra-dimensional ghost-like entity that lives in the mountains.
I bet you $5 this dude smokes weed.
Probably a lot of it. To evidence these ideas, Beckyard accumulated a large collection of enlarged photographs that he says, among other things, half Bigfoots and invisible Bigfoots or possible aliens. The forms are often found in situations where the camera picked up images not seen by witnesses, often due to distance. According to Beckyard, the images show primates, carnivores, and beings not readily identified within known zoological classifications that resemble descriptions of aliens submitted to investigators. Oh, we're making fun of this guy. Beckyard died at the age of 69. Nice.
69.
From the prostate cancer of June 22nd, 2008, near his home in Lafayette, California. He has been maintaining the crosses of Lafayette Monument to casualties of the war before his death. He seems like a good guy, just crazy.
Yeah, well, you're assuming prostate cancer not got him. Maybe it was the Bigfoot Mafia.
It was the Bigfoot Mafia.
It was the Bigfoot Mafia. That's what it was.
Yeah, don't piss off the Bigfoot Mafia.
That's true. That's that's. Otherwise, they're gonna send Kid Rock after you.
Yep.
All right, so it's just about that time. Thanks everybody for coming in and watching. Probably the first of a few segments of us talking about Bigfoot. You got anything to plug, Scaps?
No, I don't really have anything coming up. We've got a stupid sideshow for stupid live stream for stupid people. But yeah, same thing. Whatever. Yeah. I'm gonna talk to some friends. Maybe we'll since we had plans that kind of fell through. Maybe they'll want to talk.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let's start getting mine out of the way. So Wednesday at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, doing the Devil's Hour. This week, I'm going to be showcasing Houston musician Scotty Galaxy. Oh, cool, Phil Screamer. Yeah, I know you're always down. Phil Screamer goes, he's always down to talk. Good to know. But I'm talking to Scotty Galaxy from the Stolen Stitches, Claudette something, who's really awesome. And then this weird New Zealand heavy metal band of a bunch of Pacific Islander Samoans named Shepherd's Rain. And they're fucking heavy as shit. And they're really good. And then on Saturday, we're going to get soused again. And we're going to have some fun people. I know I'm finalizing some of the guests, but I know one guest that's going to be one half of the Captain of Maybell Sidetrack group. And I'm going to talk to the drinker. And the drinker, of course, is Maybell. So...
Yeah, if you can't find anybody else, I'm down to play with Maybell.
I'm sure. That's... I'm finalizing the details of some of the other people. One of the people I had was going to be on, but he was doing Sober January, but he got pushed back, and his soberness doesn't end until Sunday, so it won't be him. So I'll be somebody else, and maybe you, maybe somebody else. I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week to us as well at 7:30 Central Standard Time, where it'll be President's Day, and of course, you know what that means. Porn. No, it's going to be
Sasquatch porn.
Sasquatch porn. No, we're going to be talking about the Freemasons, and we're going to have a special. We're having a special guest person with us, our kind of expert on weird conspiracy groups. The Master Paradox will be joining us to talk about the Freemasons. So yeah, make sure you
might have another buddy of mine who's really into the Freemason stuff. Come join us as well.
I briefly, I might consider. I do know some Freemasons because, of course, I know lots of weird people as the curator of weirdness. So, anyways, everybody be safe, be cool, be groovy, and as always, keep drinking, everybody.